Nnamdi Kanu's legal team challenges persecution as a court plays a selective broadcast video. The trial of the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, resumes today, 7th of May 2025, at the Federal High Court in Abuja, with a renewed scrutiny over the federal government's handlings of the case, as well as the legalities of evidence presented by the persecution. From the moment Kanu arrived in court, surrounded by the formidable legal team led by the respected legal luminary, Chief Kanu Agabi Sam, it was clear that the defense was prepared to challenge every point raised by the persecutor. The team included distinguished counsel such as Onyinyechi Benson, Aloy Ejimako, Emeka Etiaba, Maxwell Okpara, and many others. During the sections, the persecution continue its attempts to link Kanu to a series of broadcasts, many of which were historical in nature, including addresses dating as far back as 2011 during the World Igbo Congress in the United States. The persecutions presented flash drives containing audio and video materials said to be past broadcasts of the IPOB leader, in which he spoke passionately about the plight of the Igbo people and indigenous communities in Nigeria. In one such broadcast, Kanu warned of Fulani herdsmen invasion and called for vigilance and self-defense, which he emphasized was a constitutional right. Kanu in the recording maintained that IPOB is a peaceful movement and repeatedly called for a referendum, not war. Referendum is not a crime, he said, urging indigenous group to awaken and protect their people from state-backed violence and terrorist attack. As segments of the NSAS era, recordings were played, including calls from distressful individuals across southern Nigeria reporting attacks on protesters. Kanu's broadcasts were framed as reactions to systemic violence and neglect, not incitement. One call from Aba during the broadcast was heard crying out, "They are killing us now," a chilling reminder of the real-time fear and violence many Nigerians faced during protests. Kanu's call for self-defense was positioned by his legal team as a justified reaction to impunities and extrajudicial killings, not terrorism. The defense also raised a critical concern about the process used to proscribe IPOB as a terrorist group, noting it was done via an ex parte motion without IPOB representation in court, a point unchanged by the persecution today. At a point, the persecutor tried to reference a letter from a former Attorney General, but again, the defense objected, insisting that the document had not been duly served, a concern the trial judge, Justice Omotoshu, acknowledged. Despite the persecution's continued push, the defense maintained that IPOB's activity, as outlined by Kanu, were legal and grounded in the fundamental right to self-defense, speech, and peaceful assembly. The judge adjourned the case to May 8, 2025 for the continuation of the hearing and further across the examinations of the persecution's witness.